Okay, so now you should hear me. Stream is totally on it. Okay, yeah, now it should be louder than the stream. I don't know if I'll make it in German or English.
Night has fallen and you're weary from travel. Stars fill the sky above, and in front of you is a brightly lit wooden house, the only building you've seen for days. You walk toward the house, hearing the sounds of laughter and talk as you reach the door and push it open.
I'm just so jealous of his voice. He has such a growling deep voice that I can't imitate. That's so fucking amazing.
You sit down and join the game. It's a cheap buy-in, and not many of the other players are very good. The lady fiddling with dice gets good cards, but has no real strategy. The man to your right seems to just hold on to the highest cards he has, regardless of suit or any consideration of matches.
That's interesting, by the way, because I started it one time, like 10 minutes ago, and it was in German, and now it's in English. Like, the voice was English before, but the text was German before. Oh, LOL. Yeah, alright, let's continue.
The man in gray across from you, though, he's good. He already had the largest pile of coins when you bought in, and while your winnings grow quickly, you can't quite catch him. One by one, the other players leave the table, sometimes with pique or with wry humor, leaving their winnings with you or the man in gray.
What a fucking amazing voice.
Finally, it's just you and the man in gray. He looks at you, full of humor, and winks. Last hand? He deals, you draw, and look at your hand. It's good. It's great. The best hand, in fact. A royal straight flush. Spades. Aces high.
Damn.
But the man in gray pushes forward his whole pile. You're not sure exactly how much it is, but it's more than you've got. You can't match that. The man in gray stops you. Now, if you like, I'll let you wager your word. I know you'll be good for it. Just promise you'll pay the debt, however I ask.
Alright, so last time I chose you have my word. I don't know if it really changes anything, but curious to try it. Check cards. I don't know what exactly that means, but I'm just gonna try it out. Hope I don't destroy the game or something.
Yep. 10, Jack, Queen, King, Ace. All spades.
Okay, yeah. So it doesn't change anything at all.
The man in gray smiles. All right, then. I'll call.
Show him. Yo, what the fuck? He just switched out my cards. I don't think that's legal.
Well, your luck wasn't so good, was it? That's quite the hand, but not for the game we're playing. I'm afraid you owe me. Your life, sure, but more than that, your labor.
I'm just sitting here smiling. Holy shit, that's so great.
You see, this land is built on stories. It's one big story, this country, woven of many small ones. Few of the small ones are strictly true, and the big story is mostly a lie. All the stories and songs and myths and legends start somewhere, with a seed. As they're told and retold and passed around, they grow and change to become the stories we know.
That's so great.
To pay your debt to me, you'll be carrying stories, finding the seeds first and then spreading them, telling them onwards so they can begin gaining strength. This is no light task. Stories are heavy. Most of the stories you'll find will be small seeds. They might be true, but they'll grow wild and unbelievable with the telling.
That's how far I came last time.
The more important stories are the true ones, the ones people will tell you about their own lives. Those often get lost in the weaves of the big story. The more true stories you can find and tell, the more you can weave that truth into the big story. Tarnish it a bit perhaps, but isn't a dingy and battered truth better than a shining lie?
Well, is it?
Now, go ahead. You tell me a story. I'll trade you some information about your task.
Okay, I'm curious. Yo, what the fuck? I have no idea how this game works.
You sometimes have to make choices about what kind of story you're finding. Is it a love story or a tragedy? Don't gather too many of one kind, though. This grand story needs variety.
Okay. I'm rather confused.
Your deepest desires? Your greatest wish? Heaven? Big Rock Candy Mountain? El Dorado, the promised land, that place just over the ridge where they all say that the water tastes just like the sweetest wine. Well, I don't know where that is.
Neither do I, my boy.
It's supposed to be somewhere in this country. Ask the people you meet. They're all searching for the same thing. Travel? That's your job. Wander from place to place, gather those stories and spread them. People get bored hearing the same stories over and over. But an old cliché in one state might be a rip-roaring new yarn in another.
Tell the story of tossing a pair of bone dice on a blood-red velvet table. They come up snake-eye and wink at you. The music, holy crap.
It's just luck. Funny how bad luck seems to follow the folks who already have problems aplenty. Well, try your luck out there in this country. See how the dice treat you. It's not all bad. You'll have to work hard, but I'll give you the gift for seeing the true shapes of people. Not many who can do that.
I suppose that's the end then. Tell the story of a black and grey city where every building is filled with desiccated corpses. Sounds great to me.
I'll strip away your flesh to make the journey easier, but still you'll feel pain. Hunger, weariness, thirst, and despair. They're all part of stories, the part not often told. And death, yes, but don't worry. As long as your task remains, you come back. Go on your way, Seeker. Maybe we'll meet again, or maybe not. Either way, it'll be an experience for you. I'm jealous in some ways.
I'm jealous of your voice.
I hope you find what you're looking for.
Well, I'm gonna scroll my name on the bare bones of the earth.
This bungalow is being ransacked. There's furniture piled in the front yard, ammunition heaped under the mailbox, and a crowd of clean-cut men ripping apart a car in the driveway. The two heavily armed, mud-caked women leaning over the porch railing share the same bored grin. One shouts at you. "Lend a couple innocent gals a cigarette?" You are about to hand her a smoke when those men draw pistols and shove you hard into the dirt. You know these girls? Once they've dumped your bag out into the road, they decide you're harmless. "If you were selling booze too, you'd have a lot more cash," sneers one. On the porch behind him, the two bootleggers are fingering their empty rifles, grinning in disappointment.
Well, I got no companion except the wind and the sea. And when
Hey.
I'm cold and empty,
Guten Tag. Welcome to the stream, my friend. Ah. I really don't have a clue how this game works.
Well, I'm gonna cast
Off the road and into the woods, you can't help but come across this package by the old tree tied to a sturdy stick. The cloth wrapping conceals, though not particularly well, something large and softly unsettled. Little eyes blink back at you from inside the bundle.
I'll say hello.
The shape gives a start.
"Please don't tell my pa that I'm in here.
It says in a small voice.
Pa doesn't want to live with us anymore. But I want to go with him. Don't tell him, please. I'm hiding."
You tell the boy you'll keep his secret. You don't see his father anywhere. You don't see another soul for miles.
Oh dear, I think I'll move on. Hello, 3 viewers. Welcome to my stream. I think I'm on my way to Portland right now. Ooh. When the music hits hard.
come every year, you know. The old man is sitting at the edge of a rotting old pier, crooked legs dangling over the water. He watches a pair of seagulls preen and groom each other on a rock just off the shore. They seem to wait for something together, fidgeting and rubbing against one another. And when they fly off, they fly
Hello
together.
again.
These two, these same two, have been coming here ever since I was a boy, the old man says.
I think that's really unlikely.
He watches them fly away until their bodies are dots vanishing into the low sun. Always the same pair. Wonder what keeps him coming back to this town. He shrugs. It must be home.
Yeah, I guess so.
The woman walks the small town square with the poise of Betty Davis, a confident stride and inimitable mannerisms elevating the sidewalk into a plush Hollywood carpet. And wrapped around her neck, a yellow velvet ribbon, bright as an ocean sunrise. You question a well-dressed man parked outside an oyster house. Prudish woman. I took her on a fine date and she didn't remove so much as a ribbon. Excuse me, can you step back from the coupe? That's the spirit. You decide to seek a second opinion. You
Ask
talk with
around.
a waitress smoking outside a diner. Something funny about her. Just showed up one day. Doesn't work, doesn't live anywhere far as I know. Just around. Myself, I'd love to know who made all her beautiful clothes.
I think I'll approach the woman.
You ask the woman if you may join her.
I don't know what
on
the
a
symbols
public
mean
bench.
here.
You may. Lovely outside, isn't it?
Her eyes are a beautiful shade of brown. Beneath the yellow ribbon, a thick, fibrous scar wraps around her throat.
Weather like this,
Pardon?
it reminds me of Paris.
What a French accent. I think I'll have a look at the lighthouse.
You can see storm clouds on the horizon, and you don't relish the thought of being caught wandering this rocky seaside road in the rain. Fortunately, you find the lighthouse door open, with a daunting staircase before you.
Okay.
At the top of an ornate wrought iron spiral, you're breathless and feeling the strain on your knees. Rain already batters the walls outside. You can only knock on a heavy wooden door leading into the upper level. Muffled voices and light seep in beneath the door. Looks like we got a visitor. Sounds like a man's voice, deep and rough.
Well, behave yourself. I'll open the door.
Another man, this one with a higher, more sonorous voice. I always behave myself. He feigns indignation, but his tone betrays affection instead.
Wait.
After a moment, the door unlatches from the inside and opens. The man before you is tall and muscular, with a hint of a paunch beneath his wide chest. The heavy iron knob on the door looks nearly dainty in his huge hand.
Didn't want to be out in this rain, did you? Come in.
Despite
nice
the rough
lad.
exterior, this room looks like a well-appointed parlor. There's a rug on the well-trod wooden floor, and an enormously plush couch. And sat upon it is a stocky fellow grinning through a great hazel-colored beard. "Tea?" he offers, hoisting a teapot.
Oh, we manage.
The tall one sits on the sofa, casually wrapping an arm around the other lighthouse keeper.
The quiet suits us just fine.
He needs his quiet time. He's a writer. The tall one grunts.
I dabble. But you must have some good stories from the road.
Well, I have some.
You wake up
If
the
I might
next
say so
morning on your
myself.
old sofa, still warm from an excess of tea. And cakes? There might have been little cakes. Prodigious snoring rumbles in from the floor above you, and you quietly take your leave.
Okay. Nice. Looks like I'm in Boston. Where was I before? Portland, was it? Oh yeah. I'm traveling down the East Coast.
A dusty truck and a man on horseback pull up next to one another in front of the grocer. Suddenly, the driver and the rider, two wiry old men with identical haircuts, start shrieking at one another.
What is going on?
The man with the truck leaps into the street.
Brother!
He shouts. The one on the horse tumbles out of his saddle.
Brother!
He screams. They embrace in the road.
30 years!
Hollers the driver. The rider, tears streaming down over his face, corrects him.
No! 32!
That's cute.
Everyone here is watching these two older men cry and hug one another in the middle of Main Street. Cars and wagons are backing up. People are yelling.
Take a photo of us!
The driver begs you. Starts hauling a tripod out of the bed of his truck. The long-lost
Say
brothers
cheese.
pose in front of traffic, cry snot pouring out of their noses. As angry passerby wave you out of the road, each brother presses a coin into your hand. When the traffic disperses, you realize they overpaid you quite a shocking amount.
Oh dear. What a shame. I'll look at that first.
The man is the color of mill dust. His smile creases his face like folds in dough. He gestures you inside the dilapidated structure and shouts over the sound of driving wheels.
You're welcome to sleep here. You don't want to rest by the river. Not in the evening. Insects.
That makes sense to me. I'll settle inside for a break.
Man shoves the broken door closed behind you. The mill is warm, and the air is heavy with the powder kicked up by your entrance. You realize how easy it would be to drift off on this pile of sacks to the loud but constant sound of the grinding wheels. Consciousness is elusive. Your limbs
I'll fight the
throb
drowsiness.
with dull fatigue, and your eyes are sticky with dust. The man suddenly grips your legs and drags you toward the millstone.
You do not love my daughter. You will not have her. I will not let you hurt her.
Your hand catches a flour sack printed with brightly colored flowers. A puff of flour makes you sneeze, and you wake. The mill is quiet. Its works long disconnected. In your hand is the faded remnant of what might once have been a bag or a piece of a dress.
Interesting. What's there? Oh. Oh,
Hey
yeah.
there, stranger. You're welcome to enjoy this fire with me, if you're respectful, that is.
Sounds good to me. With two so good doggos on your side.
This here is my spot, and I ain't inclined to share it with any bad characters. You can call me Quinn.
Cheers, Quinn.
These here are my venturing companions. Kaz is the big un, and the one with the spots is Flip.
Pleasure to meet you all.
I usually beat my way on the rails, but the road news said this town was fat, and the weather was fine. So I'm taking in the sights and seeing what I can drum up. Hey, tell me one of those exciting stories.
As night goes on, the cycle will move left to right. When it reaches the right side, the night is over, and so is your storytelling. The person you're talking to will usually tell you where they'll be next, so you can find them again. Wait a second. I have to have a quick chat with my girlfriend. I beg your pardon. Interesting. My chat just didn't get updated. Okay, I'm really sorry about that. And I'll lower the music volume. Here we go. Erebos. Ich habe selber keine Ahnung, was das Ziel von dem Spiel ist. Ich gehe davon aus, dass du mittlerweile nicht mehr da bist. Also, ja, der Chat hat sich nicht geupdatet, I don't know. Gar nichts dafür. Eigentlich bin ich gerade am Schneiden, auch by the way. Aber ich habe mir gedacht, ich spiele es einfach mal, weil ich liebe Hörbücher. Ja, genau. I think I'm not gonna keep it too long for now. If you tell tell them the types of stories they request, you will gain their trust and the eye will open. When it opens fully the next time you meet them, they'll open up more about their life. They'll remember this from conversation to conversation, so don't feel you need to open the eye all the way the first time you meet them. You meet someone. Dance around, get to know them. Sounds good to me. I want to hear something about family. Tell a story about the two
What's the use in
brothers who
telling sweet happy
reconnected.
tales if and they make you snooze? My family.
Yeah, your family
There
boy.
ain't no way I'm gonna start jaw flapping about those bastards. Judases, the lot of them. Enough said.
Alright.
I wanna hear one of them venturing tales. Got any?
I feel like that's an adventuring story.
Well, that was something. You spin a good yarn. Authority, bosses and such.
Yeah, boy.
I ain't nobody's little Angelina if that's what you're asking. I take care of myself and my dogs.
I like how
I
you're
don't
talking,
need no
boy.
jocker looking out for me. So if you're offering, don't. Shoot, I thought I told you to be respectful. You want to keep enjoying my spot or not? Think about that. I want to hear a story about ghosts or murderers or something. Scary stuff.
Oh, I don't know. I don't really have any. I'm really sorry.
Well, that sure was a downer. Give me a good venture tale instead any day. Sad. Oh, so you think just 'cause I'm young, I gotta be sad, crying after my mama every night.
Man, you
I don't
understand me
need you looking
wrong.
after me, so if you're offering, don't. And I thought I told you to be respectful. What you really ought to be asking yourself is if you want to keep enjoying. Hey, do you got any really thrilling stories to tell?
Yeah, I think I'll
Leaving
leave.
already? Well, me too. I think I'll go check out what's happening up the road this way. Maybe I'll see you around.
Up the road. This way. What is this, mate? Boy.
Tramping life suits me just fine. Every day is a venture.
That's true.
With things being so depressed, folks walk around like it's the end of everything good. But it plenty nice things to see if you know where to look.
Yeah. Like, I'm really sorry if I'm ignoring you, my dear viewer. Okay, just a sec. Okay, no new messages. That's fine. I really just don't know how this chat works here. Because I feel like when I'm in Minecraft, it's alright. But here's... I don't know. As you walk down the road, a black crow flutters down to land in your path. It looks at you, cocks its head and speaks. Well, you've got a long, long road ahead of you, don't you? All these people to chase down. Oh, it's alright. Oh, so I hear. It laughs. I got some experience when it comes down to chasing folks. Tell me about it. Well, if you want to hear, you could go find your friend again. Ask him about their life. They might want better stories this time, though. If he's up at you. Didn't they tell you where they were headed next? Yeah, they did. But hey, the world's full of people. Bet you could find another friend like that if you went looking around. There's more than one interesting person in this land for sure. It gives a gravely laugh. That's what humans say anyways. And with that, it launches into the air and disappears. Move on. Oh yeah. Da do 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 do. Oh damn, messed up. Interesting. Now I know.
Muddling through the dark, you stumble into the path of the white deer. Its beauty strikes you at once. It is something otherworldly, beyond borders. A moon swimming in the void. Human shouts not far away break the spell. The deer's ears prick up. This thing is being hunted.
I need to help it.
You know a way out of here. As the hunter's cries get louder, you approach the deer carefully, palms outstretched. As you grow close, your features become clearer in the light of the deer's aura. It bolts
Oh no.
into the path of an oncoming train.
No. Eerie story. A long black car growls up in front of this hotel. Out steps a woman in an extravagant hat and coat, followed by a whole crowd of hangers-on. Is she a singer? An actress? You don't recognize her face, but to your surprise, you recognize the story she's telling. Listen in. In a sharp transatlantic accent, she's telling everyone in her party a story about the two brothers who wandered seeking one another for 50 years. It's clearly the story of the two brothers who reconnected after 30 years apart, but changed in a few entertaining ways. Keep listening in. Isn't that something? She asks. Her various followers agree. She pays the driver of the limousine and sweeps into the hotel like a thunderstorm of red velvet. Someone should do a picture about it. You heard? Someone should do a picture about it. You hear her exclaim. Move on. That's interesting because I did that picture. I did do that. Da dum da da dum. Dum 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 dum. There's a crow again. I like reading myself, if I'm being honest. I like reading the crow, but the narrator, at least this far, both of them, or all three of them, great voices. Oh, I'm just jealous. A jet black crow alights on the low branch of a twisted tree. Look at you, it calls. Think you got some good stories already? Well, I heard better, much better. It seems to wink at you. One of my tricks. Ask about stories. The ones you got now. Psh, pathetic stuff. You tell those stories around, they'll come back more exciting, more satisfying. So, always listen to the stories of other folks. Other folks tell. Their tales are less true, sure, but more useful around the campfire. Makes sense. The boss has a point about the true ones. Though, the crowd admits, they're extra interesting. You learn a couple of folks' true life stories, and everyone will like them, no matter what kind of stories you think they want to hear. Any other tips? Well, everyone's captain their own destiny. It gives a burst of laughter. Ain't no bootstraps in the world that can save you now, but the choices you make may change the kind of story you can tell. It ruffles its feathers. Short shrug. Choose wisely, or don't. Move on. Oh dear. Yeah. Nice. Search. You notice a black crowd sitting on a fence post, watching you with unsettling intensity. Hey, it blurts. Hey, friend. Hey, you hear about trains? It gives a throaty cackle. Locomotion. That's life. I got some good travel tips here. Ask about travel. You ever ride a train? It asks. With your budget, you'll need to hop on a train yard, though. Fast and convenient, but the railroad bulls really don't like it when you ride the empty boxcars. If you get caught, you'll get beaten. It hops and pecks at something on the ground. I just noticed. My view is away. That's really sad. I hope someone come back. On the positive side, maybe you'll meet someone on trade stories. On the positive side, maybe you'll meet someone to trade stories with. I'm sorry, but if you don't like the sound of that, you could hitchhike. Find a friendly car. It laughs. I feel sorry for you land blowers. No wings, just motors. You can't even cross rivers when you want to. Only at safe crossings. You got a point there. I always do. You notice that its beak doesn't move as it speaks, but before you can tell anything else about it, off it flies. Move on. Da, da. Oh dear. I like that whistling thing.
The stream is a clear, reflective shade of blue, unusual in this region where bog iron colors the river's brown. Across the way, a goat with great leather wings laps up the water, its sunken red eyes fixed on your every movement. You now notice the unnatural absence of wildlife. No fish swim in the stream. No birds sing in the trees. The winged goat drinks with a forked tongue, only abstractly concerned with your presence. Over the hill, a scorched one-room house lies abandoned, 2 of its 4 walls in ruins. The goat rears up, front hooves curled, and stretches its wings out to their full breadth.
I want to come closer.
The goat opens its mouth and wails, a protracted, shrill sound, indistinguishable from the cry of a human infant. It only begins to stop when you take several steps back.
Yeah.
The winged goat doesn't follow. Instead, it lies down inside the burnt house, surrounded by portraits of a large family, glass frames stained brown from smoke.
Sad time. I think I'll do this one first.
Expensive, but unkempt. A tailored jacket stretched and warped out of its best fit by long days on the road. His thinning frame weighs down the boxcar next to yours. You got a light, friend? You offer a match, which bends and nearly snaps as he scratches it against the pitted iron edge of the box.
Pardon?
Thanks, he mumbles, perching one last cigarette on his lip.
So, where are you going?
Don't rightly know where I'm going. You notice how deeply wrinkled his clothes are. It's as though a huge hand plucked him from a high society party and crumpled him up like a sheet of paper. Don't rightly know how I got going either.
Why?
They built a railway just past Missy Hudson's estate. Damned racket ruined our soiree. Might have been a few bottles of Armagnac too many when I walked down the tracks to tell them to keep it quiet. He drags on the cigarette,
Oh dear.
but you never see him exhale.
That's interesting. I'll hear a story. Oh dear. These men lean against the wall of this hardware store, smoking and chatting. They wave you over. Yeah, there's one before. They lounge into a group recitation with the shout out between the female bootlegger and the cop, interrupting one another in the excitement to tell it. Wait a second. You recognize the story. It's a story about a woman arrested for bootlegging. Someone's added to it in the meantime, though. What do you think? Asks one of the men, eyes bright. You think that really happened? Of course it did. Well, I'm not sure myself, he replies, but damn, it sounds wild. Move on. Yeah. I think I'm gonna hop on the train. Yeah. Hello to my one viewer. As you hop off the boxcar, you suddenly feel the heavy hand of a railroad bull on your shoulder. Now where do you come from? He asks, in a way that indicates he doesn't care. You don't mess with the Rock Island's car. The beating that ensues is efficient and brutal. Nice. Well. Can I have a map? Oh, I can. Okay. Holy shit, that map is huge. America's huge, if I'm being honest. Okay, journey log. Stories. Ha ha ha. I like Quinn the most. I want to hear a story, come on. It's break time at this half-finished bridge. The workers are gathering around a young woman who sits on a bucket like a king. They listen raptly to the story about a dead woman and a yellow ribbon. Listen to the tale. You realize it's the story of the elegant woman in a small town, but heavily embellished. The young man, I think I said woman before, the young man on the bucket tells it masterfully, doing all the voices as if he's told it this way 1,000 times before. Okay, I get it. What's the story? It's nothing close to what actually happened, but this version is pretty good. You'll have an easy time remembering it. Okay. Sounds good to me.
As you walk along the river near an unfinished bridge, men with a tool belt catch a sight of you. Hey, over there, he calls out. You look like you could use a quick way to get some hard-earned money. Hard-earned is right. The bridge hangs high over a perilous drop.
Absolutely.
Great, he exclaims. Suppose you'll want a safety belt. We Thunderbird people don't need 'em. We fly when we fall. He chuckles. You find yourself up high, looking over the rushing river that crashes around the foundation of the bridge. As you work side by side, the man mentions, "You can see Thunderbirds up here if you know how to look." You ask him to explain.
I don't know what a
Practice your
Thunderbird
peripheral
is
vision,
actually.
if you dare. Last thing you need up here is for them to see you seeing them and come swooping at you. He says laughingly. You only see the clouds thicken. It sure does pass the time working. The man pays you well when you're done with the job.
I'll take it. Have another campfire. No, I don't want to cross yet. Camp. Queen again.
Hey, traveler. Come to join the fire again? Well, I guess I know you well enough to let you set yourself down for a spell. You remember Cass and Flip?
I do.
You want to hear more about my travels? Well, sure, why not? Nothing better than trading stories around the fire, and I got stories.
Mir gefällt dieser Lifestyle so. I like that lifestyle. I think it's so fascinating. Imagine just being on the travel, meeting people, trading stories on the campfire, sharing a meal. Real old-fashioned. Yeah, freedom.
Hey, tell me a funny story. You seem like you still got a sense of humor.
I'm literally dead. Bondage trap and imprisonment. He wants to hear a funny story. I think freedom is the best one. Yeah, that might be the best one. The bridge story.
I'm not sure I quite follow that one.
Oh, hey, come on, that's the best story I have.
Freedom. Well, teacher used to talk about freedom like America was eat up with it. But the tramping kind seems to be just about the only real freedom still in supply.
Yeah, man, that's your lifestyle. You should know about it.
Ain't no freedom from an empty stomach or bad weather, unless you're rich.
That's true,
I
though.
want to hear a story about ghosts or murderers or something. Scary stuff.
Yeah. Come on.
That was a chuckle to be sure. But do you know anything more lively? Traps and such like. Well, one time in Fort Worth, a feller tried to take Cass and Flip away. Said a kid couldn't look out for him proper like. That they were fat in Fort Worth and they were going to the pound so that he could find him a good home. Well, before I could much argue, Flip bit the hell out of that busybody and Cass and I joined in shortly. I don't think I ever seen a fella so surprised. Guess I ain't going back to Fort Worth no more. I want to hear one of them venturing tales.
I really don't.
Leaving already? Well, me too. I think I'll go check out what's happening up the road this way. Maybe I'll see you around. Tramping life suits me just fine. Everything's being so depressed. Folks walk around like it's the end of everything good, but it ain't. Plenty nice things to see if you know where to look.
I love how every game has its nice Ohio River. Every game has its map bound to a key M. Alright, there we go.
The whippoorwill first, shrill and close. Then you see him, high up above the black streaks of wires. The lineman, fraying belt holding him to the pole. The damned bird has come to perch on a power line, stare hungrily at the man's soul. He's unsteady. His hands are shaky, and his body sways in the wind. You spot his tool bag next to the pole, worn and frayed, much like the man. What's he gonna do? Come down from the pole? You snatch it from his bag in one quick motion and walk away. Hey! He starts, but whatever he's about to say slips into a slurred whine as his belt snaps. His body plummets, his limbs go slack with the understanding of what is happening to him. He tumbles into the tall, dry grass by the side of the road with a muffled noise. All you hear...
Interesting. I like it. And this is how I killed my first man. Oh, we're just about to be live 1 hour. I think I'll keep it to 1 hour. The waitress at this diner is sharing an outlandish tale with one of her regulars. I heard it from my sister-in-law, she says. It happened to her daughter's friend. It's true. She notices you listening. Hey, have you heard this one before? Which one? She regales you with a story about the ghost of a well-heeled hobo. Halfway through, you realize that it's the story of the last bottle of Armagnac, but highly embellished. What's your thing about that? The waitress exclaims. It is an interesting tale. Sure is, she agrees. And true, every word of it. Yeah, I don't know what I can do except moving on. Yeah. Yep, I'll hop on the train and get a move on. Travel a country. Yeah, same as last time. She's beating me up. Oh, I've died.
Bad luck again, but there's no shame in dying.
What? I didn't expect
You
that.
still have a job to do. But if you want to learn anything more from me, now's the time. And I'm sure we'll end up seeing more of each other before you're through. You haven't earned your freedom yet. Don't be so impatient, though. Haven't you ever heard that it's about the journey? I'm your boss in the sense that you owe me, and so I get to tell you how to pay the debt, but I'm not in charge.
That's interesting.
Death isn't as bad as you thought, maybe. It's not like this for everyone, you know. Go on your way, Seeker. I'm sure we'll meet at least once more. Think about what we've discussed. And good luck on the rest of your task.
I think that's an excellent point. Oh, you can begin anew. I love it. Okay, interesting. Cool. Yep, I think I'll leave it here. Wish you're one person, that's probably myself. Maybe someone's watching and like afterwards. Even your English folks might watch something like that. Normally my channel is German, although I do speak quite a lot of English in my videos, at least recently. I could do water drinking ASMR. Anyways, hope you enjoyed. I did. I know I did. Lovely game. Maybe I'll continue streaming. Maybe with some better timing. For now, I wish each and every one of you a good night. Enjoy yourself, enjoy your sleep. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Yes, I am sure. Bye bye.